This is absurd.
The Mets scored 5 runs in St. Louis to win a ball game.
Well, the other piece of it is, if they rule that McKinstry is not allowed to pitch, which should be the ruling, then what about the pitcher that has to come into the game now? He is not warmed up in the bullpen, and he's only going to get the 8 pitches from the mound. And that's got to be part of the ruling here too.
And the only one who is warm is Kimbrel, who was throwing down there, and you'd have to bring your closer in, trailing by 5.
Well, I'm sure that Buck Showalter knows the rule. I don't know if he was the one who pointed this out to the umpires or if the umpires did this of their own volition, but they're all standing together, obviously on the wireless mic with the folks in the replay center to get a ruling about what to do about this, because it's clear that McKinstry is not allowed to pitch in this spot. The question, I guess, then becomes, A, does McKinstry have to stay in the game in some capacity? And B, what do you do with the pitcher that you bring in? Do you let him get adequate warm-up time, or you just limit him to the 8 warm-ups from the mound?
Which puts the Mets in a quandary. What if they wanted to pitch Rodriguez in the 9th? He'd be sitting on the bench forever.
Why haven't you got anybody up in the bullpen throwing?
Well, because
they're hoping they let him do it.
By rule, a position player cannot come in the pitch unless they're down by 6 or more runs.
Okay, we know that part. So now what happens?
Well, they're not going to allow him to pitch.
Well, then what happens to McKinstry, and what happens to the pitcher who now has to come in to pitch? They should not give the pitcher adequate warm-up time. They should give him just the 8 from the mound, and I don't know if that's what they're going to do.
This is
now there's Evan Phillips getting up in the bullpen. They should not allow him to warm up the bullpen. And I think that's what Buck is upset about, that they're going to give him a full warm up because Dave Roberts didn't know the rule. And this is totally wrong. And I understand you want to prevent injury.
I mean,
I totally understand that part from Evan Phillips' standpoint, but there's a reason there's a rule.
That's a hang with him.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
We all feel for Phillips, and we don't want him to hurt himself, but that's the rule. You made a mistake. You have to pay for your mistake.
Well, this one's on Dave Roberts.
Well, it's also on the umpires.
Yep.
And I don't know if they got a ruling from somebody more senior to them in the replay center telling them that they should allow Phillips to warm up in the bullpen. But this is not right. Now, McKinstry is still on the field. So they're obviously going to bring him into the game, and Dave Roberts is going to have to work out his lineup card, which he's now doing with the home plate umpire Manny Gonzalez, while they direct you. And now they're telling Phillips to go to the mound.
To come in.
I mean, he got 15 warm-up pitches out of the bullpen.
He's still throwing.
And now the bullpen coach is incensed that they're worried about him not being adequately warmed up, but that's not the umpire's fault. That's the manager's fault.
No. Well, that's why he's coming to argue. He's going to delay it as much as he can, get thrown out. Next thing you know, he'll have 20 throws down there.
Come on, make a Custer decision here.
This is so embarrassing for Major League Baseball. Truly embarrassing.
You got
managers who don't know the rules. You got umpires who don't know the rules.
And Phillips is still throwing in the bullpen.